The Contemporary Self-Portrait Project, or as we now call it, the CSP, was instigated by the Turku Academy of Sciences in Finland. The role of the college in the expanded academy is exactly that, to expand the academy outside of the kind of the remit, the normal sort of mission statement of an academy, but also outside of the geographical walls of the college. And because we're already in a pre-existing community, to involve the community in as much as possible of the academy's activities.
I initially went over to Turku and suggested that our role in the project, if they wanted us to participate, would be a role where we could illustrate the relationship between the college and a community. That's where we started from, and now 2 years later, we're in the kind of final phases of the workshop process that's come out of this, and we have an artist who's come over from Finland, Pia. We have local artist Alva who's coordinating the project at this end. There's students from NCAD involved. There's a teenage group from Rialto involved, and there's an adult group from Rialto involved in the work. And it's working out the way we hoped it would.
It's very clear in terms of what it offers the students. In the first instance, it's a huge opportunity for the students to actually engage in a real life project with a cohort of a community. So it gives them a possibility to engage with groups of people they otherwise wouldn't have contact with. They can create all kinds of different kinds of projects, but they're actual real projects rather than just experiments, rather than just for the purposes of fulfilling a brief within the college. They actually have some value, they have a consequence, they have outcomes, they have a real kind of pedagogic value within the community as well as within the institution.
They have the possibility to do animation workshop. The students gave them the opportunity to use the photo studio. They should self-portraits in the photo studio, and they are able to do a GIF animation from those self-portraits. And they also make a kind of blue screen filming or video tapes, and they edit it together, and it's really a cooperation. The students can't do it without the kids, and the kids can't do it without the students.
We went to NCAD and done animation, and now the green screen. We got to get the people in NCAD to like getting pictures as well with us and all. In the end, I kind of made it out as a superhero villain thing. Me and two of the people out of NCAD were. We got a picture of us like that, just messing. I done this kind of robot thing, coloured it all different colours, put it on display, and disappears.
Well, they were asking us to do a drawing, so because I like to do Gaelic and hurley with my team, I did one of my Gaelic matches. Like what I was playing in defence, like, and the keeper was in. One of them took a shot and hit the keeper in the head, and he was out unconscious. So I hopped in goal and saved the ball, and we won the game over. They gave us our sketch pads, and we wrote down things we like to do, and like mostly I had sports written down, like the amount of sports I play. So they just asked us to pick one of the sports I mostly do. Yeah, I just sketched it all out and coloured it in as we finished. Or I learned new stuff like that we wouldn't do like here.
There's always been a history of music and dance, visual arts, street-based performance, theatre performance, and there's something about when young people have the opportunity to work in an intense way over a short or longer period of time on something that they're interested in or something that they're passionate about. And essentially that's what we're always trying to get to, is to the point where we're connecting with young people and what they're passionate about. Because when that happens for people, for young people and for everybody, transformation can begin to happen for people. The interest-based work and the fun-based work where young people connect with skills or fun, and that is really important. I think the arts offer, or portraiture, or the sense of who you are, exploring that creatively offers a safe space in which to do that, but a space also to really deepen an understanding of who I am, where I live, what that means, the world around me. And I think through something like a visual arts process, like the portraiture process, allows for some of those things that sometimes are difficult to say, sometimes difficult to articulate, sometimes difficult to understand, that there are ways that they can be explored creatively through making or doing or creating.
We've been, immensely privileged and fortunate to have had Pia Bartsch for both of our workshops, and Pia has been an inspiration to not only me, but certainly everybody involved in the project, but particularly to the students who were so delighted that she returned for the second workshop. The great advantage of that is that through Pia, it has opened up a whole range of network possibilities and further workshop possibilities in Finland and possibly in other countries. So that sort of wider view of the project being outside of just their own boundaries, but really gives them a tangible connectivity to the other countries.
What I have done before, I was thinking to offer a wider way to do self-portrait with different people, because everybody can do self-portrait if we support the people to use their own knowledge and skills. And it was the meaning to do not this traditional self-portrait, but to talk about ourselves, questioning a space to questioning the monument in the traditional way, who deserve a monument and who get them, and why those people and not the other ones.
I'm making medals of honor, but they're for everyday kind of achievements. So they're not for the big things, for the little things. The first one here is like for getting out of bed in the morning and doing what needs to be done. For making something beautiful. For cleaning out the kitty litter. The idea is strength acknowledgement for the smaller things in life where we're so focused on achievement in a bigger sense, but sometimes washing the dishes is good enough.
So the adults group is a mixed group. There are very different people involved. Each do a work about the own self-portrait, but also it was the group who want to do a kind of group work, and this was an intervention. We do a wish chalkboard, and we go really out into the area, on the street, on the luas, and get people there doing their wishes. And it was just amazing how it was happen. And it was also amazing to see, for me as an outsider, to see that the people really participate, they really come. What we have done now with the kids and with the adults and with the students, they really get their own will and they do what they choose to do. They really stand behind the ideas what they have and they go for it.
I'm doing seeds wrapped up in tissues. Each piece of tissue has a very negative comment on what's happening in Ireland at the moment, the way people might be feeling, and it's quite negative. So the seeds are turning the negative into a positive. But I'm just going to leave them at the bottom of the board, just in a line, and hopefully people will pick them up and have a read and throw the seeds and do what they like with the tissue. If they don't, they will just go into the ground. The tissues will just disintegrate. The ribbons will blow away. So it's take it or leave it, basically.
This work has been hugely based on the idea of long-term commitment and the development of a relationship between the arts and also a social agenda locally. The results are not simply seen within strict artistic terms. The results can be seen in a wider social context. So, for example, the regeneration of Fatima Mansions, which was a community that was hugely disadvantaged for many years and had all the consequences of intergenerational poverty and so on. There's been a massive change here, and I think you can hugely make the case that creative projects have led to creative thinking thinking outside the box, and the capacity for people locally to maximise the possibilities that were there for them at the time of the regeneration here. And we're sitting in a building at the moment which is a beautiful 4-storey building that came out of that regeneration process. The interesting thing is when you engage and you get involved with community processes, you get to know people who have issues and problems to deal with and stuff, some of those fears disappear. Gradually you come to have a deeper sense of people's circumstances, and eventually all of those anxieties you might otherwise have kind of disappear, and you become aware at a much deeper level of the kind of work that's going on quietly all the time in places like this, which in the end for me, and I think it's the case for a lot of us who work in this neighbourhood and other neighbourhoods like it, it becomes a wonderful antidote to alienation.
My name is Gillian, this is my story. The flat got knocked down, but don't you worry. This is my bad